Hi Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm fine.
That's great. What are like some of the main general causes of injuries, do you think?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, because this is something that comes up all the time in the gym, and we actually try to address it right away when we have new people, new members. And right away in the instruction that we give them, we talk about proper technique and so forth to prevent injuries, because obviously nobody wants to become injured. So there are some common injuries, and some of them are caused by starting from the bottom up. Improper footwear. Our shoes are our base. So a lot of times people might pronate, supinate, have high arches, low arches, something that needs to be addressed so that they line up from the feet all the way up. Because if they don't have the support they need through proper footwear, it can affect ankles, knees, hips, back, all the way up on the line, all the line of the body. So proper footwear is really important. So when people come in, I look at their shoes. And then I'll watch them move too. Because by that I mean, if somebody pronates, it means their heels tend to collapse and the knees sink in. This results in poor tracking. Tracking means our knees should line up with our toes. So that whenever we move, I stand, my knee goes with my toe. It doesn't cave in or out. If it does in either of those things, it's really hard and it can lead to knee injuries. So proper footwear is important. That makes a big difference everywhere up the line. Posture is huge, and we talked about that earlier, because if people do exercises in poor posture, for instance, if I'm standing in a rounded shoulder position and I do some sort of shoulder press where I press up, this is really hard on the back and the shoulders because I need to get myself upright and press from here. If I do so that's hard on the shoulders with that poor posture. When we have that rounded shoulder, it changes the line all the way down. So it's hard on the low back as well too. And speaking of the low back, a lot of times people don't engage the core. We have people all the time coming and telling us they want to work on their core because everybody wants a six-pack for abs and so forth. Well, I always tell people you should engage your core all day long, sitting, standing, moving. You know, you're only here so much at the gym. The rest of the day, what we do here in the gym, we're trying to take with us as we leave the gym. So no matter what we're doing outside, that we're keeping our abs in embrace to help protect our low back, prevent injuries, and maximize our enjoyment and movement in whatever we do, activities, leisure activities. So simply, as we talked about earlier, drawing that belly button back, keeping those abdominals tight, helps keep that low back protected. Our core is here, it's our torso, so no matter what we do, our strength comes from our core. So if we don't engage our core, whenever we're moving, we're more apt to injure ourselves if we don't engage the core. So that's a very important aspect. Other causes are performing an exercise with improper form. There's basic technique, no matter if you're doing squats, lunges, chest press, back rows, the list goes on. There's a right way to do it, there's a wrong way to do it. I always say to people, it does you no good to spell a word over and over again incorrectly. All it does is reinforce that inaccurate. Exactly. Same thing, we do repetitive movements. So you want to, it's just, I always tell people it's like learning something new, learning how to ride a bike, learning how to play an instrument. There's more mental effort in what you're doing initially because you really have to think and feel what you're doing so that you can make corrections if you're doing the move incorrectly to keep it safe, because our bodies will develop what we call muscle memory. So if you...
So with muscle memory.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. With muscle memory, it's so important to learn things correctly right away, because it's better and easier to develop good habits than to try to break bad habits. So that's another very important aspect about trying to prevent injuries. One other very important point is a lot of times injuries occur because people are trying to lift too much weight. So what we call an inappropriate load, or doing an exercise that's too difficult or that they don't know how to do properly. And then if you have a combination of that, that's really bad. So a lot of things are preventable. So it's an excellent question because we hate to see a lot of injuries as well.